some public safety money. There's, of course, since we have
$238,000
Yeah.
supposedly going to evolve to us through the
Yeah.
public safety stuff.
Yeah, Williamson Act not funded, Fair's not funded, Felt not funded, so not a lot there. I attended the coordination council meeting last night as well. There was some discussion about the Bald Mountain Trail that's going on, and Supervisor Wasic's asked me to draft a letter of support. I'll be working on that and bringing it back for that. That's the trail from Standish to Fires Pass. I also met with Bob Thompson from Hat Creek Construction last week. He gave me a tour of their facility out at Ward Lake, which they've done an awful lot of work out there in anticipation of some big jobs they've got coming. He invited the board, if you'd like, to take a tour of that facility at some point. I just wanted to get some feedback if that's something you want to do.
Absolutely.
They really...
Bob did give me a tour.
Okay.
Last winter, but yeah, they've probably done a lot more work than that.
They've done an awful lot of work out there, and looks good. With regard to the Johnsonville water system, our staff had met with the city last week regarding that. There are some loose ends that need to be tied up on that in terms of the execution of the deed and so forth, and that should be forthcoming in the next couple of weeks to finally transfer that over.
Well, let's get that. I mean,
Yeah.
you're the third or fourth CEO to tackle it, and
I hope to get that done in the next 30 days. I think that is all that I have.
Were you were gonna look in, remember that Lamalfa letter that you?
Yes, and I haven't got an answer to that. The Highway Patrol letter we did send, I confirmed that, and I'm going to look at the letter from Lamalfa to Moore. I'm not sure that we sent it, so if not, I'll bring that back. That was regarding the road issues on federal land.
Thanks. Okay, then we have item I-1, it's receive and file. We got the letter from the correspondence from the Department of Housing and Community Development on the draft housing element. Is there anyone with any public comment on that item? Okay. Okay, before we adjourn, I just want to give Alan McCain an opportunity to...
And we do need to go back into closed session.
Yeah.
Iona McCain, thank you. I just wanted to say that after hearing this story about Angel and my education in the field of corrections and working in social welfare and that sort of thing, it seems like they were asking for some kind of help here. And I just wanted to make I just wanted to make a plea that we remember that there was another serious stabbing that took place here in Susanville, and I believe it was John Abbott's son. And they didn't make a police report at the city and said they couldn't really follow up on it. The boy survived, but it's just the thing is there's this unfinished investigation that is really serious. And I would like to know if I could ask the council over here, I know that when it comes to murder, that it's always open if it's unresolved. Right? Isn't the case always open if the murder is unresolved? And there's no statute of limitations, I guess is a better
I will
word.
confirm that there is no statute of limitations on murder. That is quite correct. Under 800 at second penal code. Excuse me. Apologize. Yes, that's correct. We're talking about the death of Angel Simon.
Yeah,
And we're talking about a case which
it's closed, right?
I don't think that necessarily to be the case, but certainly something that the Office of the District Attorney was hoping for more information from the police department. The police department, which is an entity of the city of Susanville. I'm not certain that this entity necessarily has oversight on that department, and maybe that's more properly addressed at the city council. I'm not trying to shut off to a different direction the discussion, but there is a significant issue in that case in terms of provability. That's my recollection.
Then the sheriff was involved in it.
Sheriff's always involved in homicide
county.
cases because he's the coroner.
Okay,
Yes,
so if
in the
if
county
they
or the
want to
city.
bring this up, they have to bring up the finances themselves. In other words, I mean, in other words, if you're gonna pursue a criminal case, you know, the person, the parents, they're not getting any help here. This mother is not getting any help here, you know? And you gotta bring it open so we all know in our community that this has been unresolved, because those are individuals, whomever they may be, are at large. You know, so that's something we have to follow up on.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I
And
recall
I'm just saying,
specifically
is
the
it her
deal.
financial, it's up to her to financially go after it, right?
I'm not certain I understand your comment
Well,
about
who pays
financially
for
going
the
in.
criminal lawyer to go fight the case?
Who defends
Who
a
defends-
suspect or a defendant?
Yeah, it would be the
It's a-
parents.
No, typically, a person charged with a crime that can't afford to pay for their own defense is afforded one pursuant to not Brown v. Board of Education, but Gideon versus Wainwright case. So public defenders are appointed here all the time to represent indigent defendants.
Okay.
So I don't know if that answers your question there or not.
Yes, it does answer it.
Okay.
And I thank you, because I really feel that the community, remember, we had a 60-minute show that had Lassen County on it regarding the prison town. It wasn't necessarily the best image, you
Yes.
know, type thing.
Yes.
And I think if we can clean some of these things up, it might be better for all of us to be aware of it.
Well, what I can say is I did have long and detailed conversations with Mr. Warner, Detective Warner from the police department on this very case, and frustrations associated with its provability. And what I will say is that I remain an open book to Ms. Montgomery. If she wants to get any historical reference on that case from me, I'm a phone call away. I pledged last week when she was appointed continuing support for her in her new job, and those aren't just words. And whether it results in a criminal filing or not, the mother of Angel, who was here today, and I apologize, I don't have her name at the tip of my tongue, she deserves time.
Resolve.
She deserves time.
That's it. Yes.
Understand.
And as Stacy Montgomery, whatever her statement was when she was running, is that she wants to get into resolving these drug issues. This is a drug issue. Basically, you know, a date rape type of activity, and it's very serious. We gotta protect our young people, boys or girls or anybody. And I feel that, that could we be sued as a county? That was another thing on my mind, if this thing isn't pursued properly.
Well, anybody can sue anybody at any time
Yes,
for anything.
right.
We are
I
well
know
experienced in that.
Okay.
But what I will say is whether or not that could be sustained by a court. You know, I mean, if the persons involved in the decision-making process are involved in the course and scope of their duties, they enjoy some immunity from their decisions. And I've been one of the persons that has enjoyed that immunity from time to time. So, you know, are we exposed for not pursuing, are we civilly
Yes.
liable for not pursuing a
Suing.
criminal case? My initial reaction is probably not. But,
I'm not pursuing a criminal case.
right.
Okay.
I
Thank
want
you.
to thank you. You know, I just was made aware of this
Yes, sir.
issue last week.
Yes, sir.
Somebody reached out to me. I wasn't aware that the mother was going to come today, but it's, yeah, I mean, it was, it's, sure, they sent me some YouTube links and, devastating. And, yeah, I mean, I thought it was crazy. I mean, there's so many things, you know, that you see in the paper that seem to be so like insignificant and trivial, and then I couldn't believe like this thing that happened right here in Susanville. I'm sure it must have been in the newspaper, but it certainly wasn't front page news.
It wasn't
I
even on the
don't-
police
yeah.
chief.
Yeah, I mean, anyways, thank you. Thanks. All righty, so we do need to go finish up our closed session. Before we go into closed session, we'll just take a quick 4 recess. You need to discuss. Finish with the Yeah.